hypothesis. Okay. Then we discussed about what is the variables, as well as we were discussing about hypothesis. Okay. Then when it comes to variables, in a research there will be two types of variables. One is dependent variables, the other one is independent variables. Okay. Then here, while conducting research, it is very necessary to know which one is dependent variable, the other one is independent variable. Okay. Then here, the next one is we need to discuss about hypothesis. What is hypothesis is? Then in the last session also I have discussed about hypothesis. Hypothesis is a tentative statement showing the relationship between two or more variables. That is said to be hypothesis. Hypothesis means it is a tentative statement showing the relationship between two or more variables. Then in research, the reliability and the validity of the variables will be tested and verified. That is said to be research. Okay, we'll in a research study we will be forming the hypothesis, and we will be uh, testing its reliability as well as validity. That is only researchers. Okay. Then usually in hypothesis there are two types of hypothesis. One is said to be null hypothesis. The other one is alternative hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis says that there is no relationship between the two or two more variables. Okay, null hypothesis says there is no relationship between the variables. Okay, whereas alternative hypothesis, it says that there is a relationship between the variables. Okay, in hypothesis there are two types. One is null hypothesis, the other one is alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis says that there is no relationship between the variables, whereas alternative hypothesis says that there is a relationship between variables. Okay, whereas null hypothesis denoted as H naught, whereas the alternative hypothesis is denoted as H1. Okay, then here the hypothesis expresses the nature and degree of relationship between the variables. There is independent variable as well as dependent variables. Okay, then hypotheses are said to be the assumption about the variables, or we can say it as a tentative statement, proposition, then proposed solution to the problem, or statement which are to be tested. Okay, then that's said to be hypothesis. Okay, then why there is a hypothesis? When a question arises, why we need to frame the hypothesis? Hypothesis gives the direction of the research. Okay, then it specifies the sources of data, and it determines the data needs, and it helps to describe the type of research and so on. Then now next one is, what is the role of hypothesis in research? Okay, then the hypothesis guides the direction of the study. As we know, it identifies facts that are relevant and those that are not. Okay, it identifies those relevant those facts which are relevant, and it also identifies those which are not relevant also. Then it provides a framework for organizing the conclusion of the result. Conclusion, that is result. Okay, that is it provides a framework for organizing the conclusions or the result. Then now, how the hypothesis is going to be framed? What are the sources of hypothesis? Then one is observation. That is based on the behavior pattern of the variables. We will be framing the hypothesis. That is on the basis of the observation. Then one more thing is relation between price and demand is hypothesis. Okay, then we are all aware about the law of demand. And then here we can also study the relationship between the price and demand. Price and demand. And then we also can study the sales and the sales, and maybe hypothesis. Okay. This is sale, the sales also we can keep as variables, and we can study. We can frame the hypothesis and we can study regarding sales. Then we can study as many variables. We can find as many solutions. We can form the hypothesis and we can study. Okay, then we can study about the uh, state of knowledge. That is, we can test the theories, whether the theories are true or not statistically. By providing the empirical data, we can study does the theory is valid or not valid. Okay, and then we can also study on cultures, caste, beliefs, habits, behavior, framing the hypothesis.
Sir, your voice is not audible to me.
Why?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir, now it's audible.
Okay, fine. Then we can frame hypothesis to study the culture, caste, belief, habits, as well as behavior. We also can test the theories, also existing theories. We can study law of demand, law of supply, law of variable proportions, and so on. All theories can be uh, verified and studied under the research by forming the hypothesis. Okay. Then here there are different types in hypothesis. Different types in hypothesis. One is descriptive hypothesis. Descriptive means we're carrying out a survey. Okay, describing the characteristics of the variable, maybe an object, person, organization, event, and the situation. If you are forming the hypothesis by describing the characteristics of a variable, that may be of a object, maybe of a person, maybe of a organization, or a event or a situation, that is said to be descriptive hypothesis. We are discussing about types in hypothesis. The first one is descriptive hypothesis. Descriptive means a survey. Okay, then descriptive hypothesis deals with the characteristics of variable, maybe an object, or maybe a person, or maybe a organization, or maybe a event, or maybe a situation. Okay, for example, for descriptive hypothesis, employment opportunity for management graduates is more than art students. Okay, this hypothesis we can frame and we can study. There is employment opportunities of a management graduates is more than the arts students. Okay, we can frame this as a hypothesis and we can carry out a study. We can do a survey. Okay, next one, relational hypothesis. Here, relational hypothesis establishes relationship between two variables. Okay, that studies the relationship between two variables. It may be positive, maybe negative, or maybe no relationship. Okay. Then it is called relative hypothesis or relational hypothesis. Relative hypothesis or relational hypothesis, it establishes relationship between two variables. That is, it may find the relationship as a positive or maybe negative or sometimes no relationship. Okay. Then here, with regard to relative hypothesis, I have one example to give. That is, high income leads to high saving. That is here, when people have more money, they can able to save more. This is the proposition. But it is applicable to few countries and it is not applicable to few countries. Okay, in India, if you see, high income leads to high savings because of the price level, because of the various situations given in India. The high income leads to high level of savings. Whereas in advanced countries, the saving habit is less. Okay, whatever they are earning, they will spend, uh, and the saving rate will be very less. Okay, so here, if you take the case of America, that is, it is said to be the most advanced country. A study has been done, and the study found that even though Americans is having a high level of per capita income, their saving rate is very less. Sometimes no savings at all. Okay. Then here, this hypothesis also can be tested. Okay. High income leads to high savings. Okay. This is one of example for relational hypothesis or relative hypothesis. The next one, in types of hypothesis, you have causal hypothesis. Causal hypothesis. Then the change in one variable leads to the change in another variable. Okay, if you study what is the change in one variable which is leading to the change in other variable. Okay, it is as similar to cross elasticity of demand. What is the change in price of one good lead to a change in demand for another good. Okay, then here causal hypothesis describes change in one variable will be leading to change in another variable. Okay, that is it is the analysis between dependent and independent variables. One variable will be causing the other variable to change or affect. Okay, then here causal hypothesis, it describes the change in one variable uh, leading to change in the other variable. Okay, how at what extent one variable is affecting the another variable. Like I can say at what extent the independent variable is influencing the dependent variable. Okay, then that's about the causal hypothesis. Okay, the next one, statistical hypothesis. Statistical hypothesis shows the association or difference between two variables. Okay. Statistical hypothesis shows the association or the difference between two variables. That is said to be statistical hypothesis. And then now, in types of hypothesis, we have null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Then null hypothesis, it points out there is no difference between, there is no difference or there is no relationship between the variables. Okay. Whereas alternative hypothesis, it shows, it describes there is a relationship between two variables. There's a difference between two variables. Okay. The null hypothesis speaks negatively, whereas alternative hypothesis speaks positively. Okay. Null hypothesis says there is no relationship between two variables, whereas alternative hypothesis says there is a relationship between two variables. Okay. That's said to be null hypothesis as well as alternative hypothesis. Okay. Then now, how to test the hypothesis? How to test the hypothesis? A question arises. Then in the research, we usually form two types of hypothesis. One is null hypothesis, the other one is alternative hypothesis. Okay. Then usually in research, we will be forming a null hypothesis. First, we will assume that there is no relationship between two variables. And then we will be conducting various tests by using the data, by using the statistical methods like t-test, z-test, f-test, chi-square test, and so on, to see whether there is a relationship exists or not. Okay, usually in research, we will be framing the hypothesis as null hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis goes like there is no relationship between two variables. For example, I will tell you one example, that is y is equal to c plus s. Income is equal to consumption plus saving. That is, the consumption and saving of an individual depends on income. Okay, then here we will test this proposition, this hypothesis. We will be forming in null hypothesis there is no relationship between income, consumption, as well as saving. Okay, then we will collect data from various sources. Okay, we will be studying about different countries. Okay, I will take the example of India as well as the neighboring countries, Sri Lanka as well as Bangladesh. Then we will be collecting data from different from neighboring countries as well as our country, and we will try to find out whether there is a relationship between income, consumption, as well as saving in these three countries: India, Bangladesh, as well as Sri Lanka. Okay, and then after collecting data, we will be arranging the data in order in tables as well as, and we'll put into diagrams. Then we will calculate the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics means we will be collecting the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, and so on. Then after that, we'll be going for inferential statistics. That is conducting various steps of test: t-test, z-test, f-test, as well as chi-square test. Okay, this t-test and z-test and f ratio is meant for empirical study or statistical data, whereas chi-square test, it is meant to study the qualitative variables. That is, there will be various type of scalings will be there. Okay, then in for example, in correlation we have uh, Karl Pearson correlation as well as Spearman correlation. Okay, one is a normal correlation, the other one is rank correlation. Okay, we study the normal data in Karl Pearson correlation, whereas we will analyze the qualitative variables, qualitative things using a Spearman rank correlation. Okay, then like that, the chi-square test will be used to study the qualitative objects, qualitative variables. Okay. Then apart from that, in analyzing the hypothesis, in testing the hypothesis, we will be fixing the level of significance. Okay, and we will be making the computation, and finally we will take the testing, and we will take we'll find out the results, and on the basis of the results, we'll be drawing the conclusion. That's about the hypothesis. Okay, then here the level of significance as well as degree of freedom it is based on probability as well as distribution of the data. Okay, then that's about the hypothesis. Okay, then next one, the next topic is about research design. Research design. Then while discussing about the steps in research, I said you research design is to be a blueprint of research, blueprint of your dissertation, blueprint of your thesis, and so on. Okay, a research design is a blueprint. How we are going to collect the data, how we are going to process, what are the types of statistical tools which we are going to use to process the data, and so on. It is said to be research design. Okay, then a research design is a blueprint for collection, measurement, and analysis of the data. Then it outlines how the research will be carried out. Okay, then it is the blueprint meant for research. It provides answers to various questions in the research. Then what techniques will be used to gather the data? Then what kind of sampling will be used? How time as well as cost constraints will be going to deal in the research? All these things will be framed. That is said to be research design. Okay, research design means blueprint for research, where collection, measurement, and analysis of data will be carried out. Then it outlines how the research will be carried out, and it provides answers to various questions like what techniques will be used to gather the data or collect the data, what kind of sampling will be used, how time and cost constraints will be going to deal. All this will be framed. That is said to be research design. Then what are the essentials of research design? Okay, then the design should be an activity and time based plan. Okay, the research design should be an activity and time based plan. Then it is always based on research question. Okay, for every research there must be a research question. Then we are all aware that in the research process, first we will be identifying the research problem, then we will be collecting the literature, the past scholarly articles which have already available in different modes, like in the form of publication, in the form of journals, magazines, newspaper article, and then we will collect all the literature available, and we will be analyzing that. Then after that, we will be we will be finding the research gap. Then we'll be framing the objectives, and we also will be framing the research question also. Then the research design will be always based on research question. That is, we will be finding the solution to the research question. Okay. Then it guides the selection of sources and types of information. In research design, the research design will be guiding for selection of sources and types of data as well as information. Then research design indicates a framework for specifying the relationship among the study variables. Okay. The research design indicates the framework for specifying the relationship among the study variables. Then it outlines the procedures for every research activity. It will be outlining the procedures for every research activity. Okay. Then like it will be uh, the research design will be guiding us to uh, follow the procedures, various procedures available on the basis of the data. If it is a primary data, we have a separate methodology. If it is a secondary data, we have separate methods as well as techniques to analyze the data. Then the research design must be appropriate, efficient, as well as economical. That is, the research design will tell us at what extent the study is going to be appropriate, efficient, as well as economical. Okay, that is good. In research design, we will be this we will be noting down the constraints which is arising due to the time as well as budget, and we will be framing the research design on the basis of the time as well as cost, budget, and so on. Then the research design, it should be flexible, and then it must be adequate. Okay, that's about the essentials of research design. And then what are the types of research design? Okay, research design means it's a blueprint for research. And then it is a framework for collection of data, measurement as well as analysis of data. Then it outlines how the research will be carried out. And then it provides answers to various questions in research, like what techniques will be used to gather data, what kind of sampling will be used, how time and cost constraints will be going to deal in the research. Because all this comes in the research design. Then essentials of research design. Then when it comes to essentials of research design, the design should be an activity and time-based plan. The research design must it should be the design should be an activity and time-based plan. Okay. Then it must be always based on research question. The research design will be on the basis of the research question. Then it guides the research design guides the selection of the sources and types of information. Then it indicates a framework for specifying the relationship among the study variables. It outlines the procedures for every research activity, and it will be appropriate, efficient, as well as economical, and it should be flexible as well as it must be adequate also. Okay. Then now types of research. Then I give you a brief about the types of research. Then in the next session we will be continuing with the types of research. And then yes, in types of research design, it has been categorized as exploratory, and then descriptive as well as casual. Okay, the research design has been categorized as exploratory, descriptive as well as casual. Okay, this we'll be discussing in the next class. Okay, one of you take the snapshot. Okay, and send it to me for attendance purpose.
Sir, you're recording, no, sir?
I am
Sir, I
recording.
already sent it, sir.
Yes, I am recording. Then I want one of you to take a snapshot. Okay,
Okay.
Already sent it, you, sir.
send it. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Deepak.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Sakleen, you sent. Huh?
Yeah, sir, I already sent you.
Sent?
Good work.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah, Kiran and Lohit, they are present. Kiran and Lohit.
Everyone present.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Kiran.
Kiran is there and Lohit is there. Okay, fine.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Take
See
care.
you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. Same time.
Thank you, class.
Thank you, ma'am.